Hello, hello, hello. This is Pipeline Audio. This is evidence-based audio 168, and this one is still under construction. So I don't have a guest scheduled for this week. This is kind of just a short one here. First of all, it's been a while that this has been in the market now, the Behringer Wing. Who's using this thing? When it came out, it was described as kind of a replacement to the X32. If you were thinking about maybe the X32 rack, sort of, or the X32 core, it's the Behringer X32, Midas M32. There are various versions of these X32s. In fact, let me pull them up on Sweetwater here. No, this isn't sponsored by Sweetwater. No, it's not. But you know, they do nice things for the school here, so I don't mind whatever that they're gonna get 3 clicks over my entire lifetime from my show or something. I don't know. So let's see. Just put in X32 here. So X32, if you don't know, is a digital mixer. I think it's pretty much the standard in digital mixers at this point. I know there's others. There's plenty others. Pro Tools has, Avid, whatever, has their own. But the X32s are kind of ubiquitous. And so they used to have several different models. There was the main one, the X32, says 40 input, 25 total bus digital mixer with 32 gain programmable mic preamps, 25 motorized faders, virtual effects rack, and 7-inch color TFT, whatever that is. $2,500. You see these everywhere. I think they can handle like 96 channels total. I'm not sure. I can't remember. We had an M32 here for quite a while. Actually, about half of the show's life, I think, maybe even more. We had an M32, which is the Midas version. It's the same thing, but for people who have to see the Midas name on stuff, it was slightly. We did the test. Slightly less noise in the mic preamps, I think, but other than that, they are pretty much identical. But there's different versions. So there was the X32, the X32 Compact, which was pretty much the same thing as the X32, but it 17 faders instead of 25, and only had 16 mic preamps on it. But one of the reasons you got into this X32 ecosystem was that you could use these other things, these it's called S32 or DL32, these stage boxes that with just an Ethernet cable, you took 32 mic preamps from the stage and brought them right into the mixing console. So you don't actually need any analog I/O on your mixing console at all with this system. But you could have it if you really were just wanted to go around and you needed to be able to plug into it. You could get the full X32 with 32 mic preamps. The Compact with 16 on it. The X32 rack, which doesn't have faders at all. And that was pretty handy to me. And let's see, there's also the Producer. What is the Producer? It has 17 faders, 16 mic preamps. I don't really understand the difference between the Compact and the Producer. Maybe it's smaller. Not sure. What's the difference here? Anyway, there's several different models. There used to be one called the Core, and it didn't have any analog I/O on it at all, I think. But it's still, they handled the same things. I'm not really sure. I want to actually find out if these things can do more than the 40 channels that I'm thinking of. I think you could bank between them. That's why. And you could always switch to other stuff, but I don't know how much simultaneously you could use. And you could buy all these cards. Like ours had an ADAT card. They also have like USB recording cards, all kinds of really handy stuff. In the end, it wasn't that handy for us in here. The AES-50 network audio system wasn't all that great for us, but it's an awesome system, especially for live. I can't imagine that I'd really want to buy anything else at this point. I know a lot of people are using these Allen and Heaths and stuff, but there's a lot of these. Now, the Wing is supposed to be the kind of the successor, but it's different. It only has, 8 mic preamps, 24 faders. It's interesting. I wonder why they didn't put a master on there. Let's see if we can get a top view here. So it looks like you have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, I'm not sure what these last 4 faders are. I'm sure you could use one of them as the master or something. I should say on the network audio system, it's not just mic preamps in. You actually have sends back out to the speakers, to the stage, whatever. So this wing, it's a little bit more expensive than the X32 was. Let me read the difference here. So the X32 had 4 effects blocks, I think, separate ones. Every single channel had some pretty kick-ass stuff. They had compressor, EQ, gate, pretty handy regular stuff, but they also had 4 independent effects, which were really good, but you could probably use more. I think this thing says 16 on this one. So let me read the Sweetwater's description. The Behringer Wing is a 48 stereo channel digital mixer that's both ultra powerful and incredibly easy to use. Benefit from first-class hands-on control thanks to 24 smooth-feeling motorized 100mm faders, a capacitive touchscreen, nice, adjustable display wheel, touch-sensitive rotary controls, capture sound with the utmost in quality courtesy of 8 Midas Pro mic preamps, while a bevy of digital I/O options provide near limitless connectivity. Record up to 64 channels directly to dual SD cards. This is why I'm thinking that there's more than than just the 40 inputs or whatever. Use the optional expansion cards to attain Dante support. We've talked all about Dante. I'm not going to get into it right now. Or deploy the Wing's built-in 48 in, 48 out USB audio interface and record straight to your DAW. Now, the X32 had a 32 input and 32 output. Now, the drivers are made by Vesicon, okay? Let me get that, make sure that's in your head. 32 channels with Behringer directing. Vesicon, who makes pretty much everybody's USB interfaces except RME, as far as I know. There may be some others, but generally it's just RME that doesn't do this, as far as I know. So the chances of 48 channels in and out working, I don't know. We'll see. The 32 in worked pretty good, honestly, on the X32. Getting around the Wing is a breeze thanks to its intuitive sources, which puts the emphasis on your source audio rather than the nuts and bolts of your mix. Complete with 16 true stereo processors with standard and classic modeled effects, the Wing is a top-shelf digital console that will elevate your live sound capabilities. Now, I know everybody's going to laugh at me for this one, but I would kill to have the Behringer DSP effects as VSTs. I loved them. I was blown away by how good some of these were, or how unique or how useful they were. If this is really just the same thing as the X32, but 4 times the effects, like you really got 16 you can put wherever you want, that would be awesome. I'm not sure that's how that works, but it could be. Let's see. So digital mixers are insanely powerful, thus they can seem intimidating. That's not the case with the Wing. Despite its deep feature set, it's a breeze to navigate. They always say that, right? Interface centers around a large capacitive touchscreen that's augmented by touch-sensitive rotary controls. 3 fader sections and custom control section can be tailored to your personal requirements. It doesn't get much more intuitive than that. Whether you require a specific bus send fader next to the corresponding channel fader or a meticulously configured custom channel that's always at the ready, the Wing is made for the way you want to work. The last firmware update that I installed on the M32 really opened up a whole new set of I/O stuff, and I think that's what they're talking about here with the Wing. It was pretty incredible. You really had a lot of control on how this thing was configured. The Wing is jam-packed with I/O, 374 inputs and outputs to be exact. And so when you really think about how this the AES-50 network audio works and stuff, you can end up with a lot. And if you include its internal signals, the Wing includes 400 inputs and outputs. Faced with this much I/O, Behringer's engineering team reimagined the flow of a traditional mixer, putting the emphasis on your source audio using what Behringer calls sources. Inputs are more than historical inputs because they contain metadata on what the source is. Tags, input icon, input color, gain, phantom power. Looks cool. Now, are you guys using this? That's what I want to know, because where are we going from here? Is this thing keeping the AES-50 Ethernet network audio alive? Could be. Let's see. Innovative channel editing section. Hands-on control. Top shelf processing. Okay, here we go. A standard effects rack with 8 true stereo processors supplies you with a useful array of modulation, EQ, and dynamic effects. Beyond that, you get a second premium effects rack with 8 true stereo processors with sought-after algorithms from the TC Electronics M3000, as well as world-class effects from Lexicon, Quantec, and EMT. All of the Wing's stereo input channels boast... Why was it stereo? Built-in EQ and dynamics, some of which are modeled after famous hardware from legendary manufacturers, blah, 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 blah. This looks good. This looks like a sensible update to the X32. Interesting, I don't see very many versions. Like, there's only just the one Wing version, and I kind of would expect to see a version with 32 mic preamps, a version with 8, just like this. But we'll see. Maybe this comes up. But I really want to hear if you guys are using the Wing. Please let me know about this, because I want to know how this is going. Let's see what these people have to say in the reviews. They look pretty happy. There's no point in writing a lengthy review. Just watch the various promotional videos and know that they're 100% accurate. That's kind of crazy. Is this guy paid, or is this for real? But if you ever watch Drew Brassler's channel, another example of Arizona exceptionalism, by the way. He really goes through the X32s and stuff. I think it's time for me to go and see if he's done anything on the Wing yet. That's probably where I would go to check this out. So, wow, this thing is just $100 less than the Midas M32. That's interesting. And so they're really counting on this being a better thing here. Interesting. Anyways, I'd like to know what you guys think about this Wing, and let me know. Next thing, we talked a little bit about this last week. A little upsetting. Ultimate Guitar is getting harder and harder and harder to use. Let me just give you an example. Let's just do a see if there's something with a lot of versions on it. That's what's going to matter. Okay, not this one. Let me just pick a Metallica song. Let's try Enter Sandman. I'm sure that'll have enough. Okay, so you see there's a bajillion versions here, right? I'm just going to switch to Guitar Pro because that's the one I want to use. See, there's 8 versions of this thing. Now, okay, first of all, how are you going to download this tablature? Okay, I'm going to scroll way down here. Way down here. And then here we go. Here's the download right here. Yeah, that sucks. The other thing is, here's the official version. Usually this is the very best version that you find. And a lot of times I'm not, okay, as far as I know, I'm almost positive that there have been many times where the best user uploaded version is also the official version. So I'm going to go here. And when I go to the official version, there's no way to download it to Guitar Pro. It's still a Guitar Pro file. I know some of them were for sure. So now what? I mean, what am I going to do with this? You can play it from here, but it's, you can't do most of the things you do with the Guitar Pro. You can't edit it really to print out and everything. So this sucks. We kind of lost a lot of our tablature. And I actually saw a couple websites that were making their own versions of this so that we would have an archive. But let me show you how I don't want to see, and hopefully you never hear something like this from our forum or any of our developers or our tech support, which is pretty much just me. But somebody says, hey, I know this has been suggested a lot, but I recently noticed that there was a download button on a few official tabs, so I was able to download them, but the button has disappeared after a few hours. I would just like to know if you're going to bring that feature back. Thanks. And then one of the actual admins at Ultimate Guitar said, "Hi, it wasn't a feature, it was a bug. We aren't going to add download button on the official tabs soon." And so somebody else said, "If I can't use them with GP, Guitar Pro, they are useless to me. That's too bad. I hope you'll reconsider it one day." So another moderator said, "On another note, you finally put a download button at the top of Guitar Pro and Tower tabs. Thank you. Did you notice? I think you're asking for that." And then, sure enough, the download button at the top of the Guitar Pro tabs has now been removed. This is from one of the moderators, but I don't think it's one of the administrators. So even the mods are like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And so the administrator says, "We want users to spend more time at the tab page. You can find this button at the bottom of the tab." For what? For what? Is it for an algorithm so that, is it for some kind of, is it for like your demographics chart algorithm tracking analytics software or something? We're people, man. If we're serving ads or whatever, that's I guess that's a reason, but put the ads at the top if you're going to put the download button up there. I mean, so a mod got back on, said, "Yeah, I know at the bottom where you have to scroll past the whole tab to get to it. I don't like it." And so the administrator said, "Well, sorry." Killer Gay, I guess, I'm not sure what his name is. So he's talking back to the administrator. He says, "Spend time. What's the point? The main points of that page are the download button and comments." Yes, because it, like we said many times on here, it's like a peer review system. It's like an actual scientific peer review paper when you watch all these comments. Both being super annoying to access now. I agree that some people might be interested in the Pro tab, and I use it sometimes. This is a great tool when I don't have access to my Guitar Pro, but I prefer to choose what I do, not being forced. At least for the people that have access to the Pro tab, so you don't have anything to sell to them, add an option. Yeah, what's the point? If we're paying for the Pro thing, I'd be interested by the reasoning here. Maybe I'm not the standard user, but each time I'm searching for a tab, it's the lowest part of my experience, and I end up being pissed. I'd probably spend more time, especially writing comments on tabs on the site if it were more enjoyable. Forcing people to stay on the page by annoying them might not be the best way, but that's only my opinion. I don't manage the best website on the internet. Administrators, talk it back. This button has been located at the bottom page for many years. We put it at the top for experimental purposes and decided to bring it back. The main reason is that we made all the Pro tabs free on the web version of the site. I think it was a user-friendly decision, wasn't it? The main point of these pages isn't the downloading button. It's the Pro player with the tab. For us, it's the download button. UG isn't just a tab hosting. It's a tab service for musicians with our own instruments for learning songs. We want people to know about them. I think I made that clear. None of this is a non sequitur. This doesn't address that issue. So, and like you said, don't take me wrong. I think it's an awesome decision to create the Tab Pro player and a really nice move to make it free. But I'm a contributor and I own Guitar Pro, so I pretty much always had access to it for free, and I don't use that feature that much. This is why I say I'm not a standard user. Obviously, you do what you want with the site, just that I don't think you have to shove it to people to make it know it exists. I'm pretty sure any user that needed it knows it's there. What's making me sad is that this is the only reason I recently activated uBlock on the site. I don't even block ads, just the Tab Pro section, and I don't like it. And it doesn't always work. Interesting. So there's a way to block that crap. Okay, I wanna. It says like micro block or something. Let me look at what that is. Micro block, uBlock. Easy on the CPU and memory. uBlock is completely related to the site ublock.org. I guess we got to try this out. uBlock origin. Interesting. We'll take a look. So there's other people backing up the idea that, put the download button back up. I don't even want to know how some of my tabs with multiple instrument changes per track sound on the Pro player. Yeah, the Pro player has its own instruments, virtual instruments. It's not always great, but... And then the administrator says, thanks, however, you can download a GP file. And then the thread got locked. So, kind of sucks. But what are you going to do? I want to make you guys aware, in case you don't know. I know we talk about it a lot, but it seems like people still aren't aware. There is a resources page at AIXDSP.com, and there's not much on here. But if you go to tutorials, I have AIX DSP tutorial file 1. It just says, this is a video and a set of multi-tracks so you can see the drums being hit and easily follow along with any tutorials or presets. If you're a Reaper user, you can just open the included project file. Other DAWs can easily drag and drop in the media. And what it is we've got a guy playing drums, and you can see him playing on the video while the multi-track audio is in there. And I mean, it's everything: overheads, kick, snare, toms, and everything. Is really so that people could learn how to use our multiband gate at first, but we're using it for a lot of stuff now. So if you ever need a set of multi-tracks to download and a video so you can actually see when things are getting hit, go on that page, AIXDSP.com, and go to Resources, Tutorials, and grab the AIXDSP tutorial file 1, and grab it. It's a handy resource, especially if you're learning how to mix and all this stuff right now. Okay, here's a fight that I always see, and hopefully you're going to see a little bit about it. There's the idea that the DC resistance of a pickup tells you everything about its output level. That's not quite true. It can be. There's a post at TDPRI, the Telecaster discussion page reissue, I guess. And they're showing that you can have a whole lot of resistance, DC resistance in your pickup, and not necessarily have that much output. Let's see. Hopefully, I think in this page there was somebody who... okay, so DC resistance only has meaning when comparing like apples to like apples. Changing the coil wire gauge, or changing the coil wire winding tension, or changing the coil wire insulation values, or taking DC resistant readings at different coil and ambient temperatures will all affect a DC resistance reading. DC resistance has its place, but not the high pedestal the music industry lauds it. It's all marketing nonsense to make sales, let alone obfuscate the truth about a product. And how often do we say that on here? Let's see. But anyway, the point is, don't just use DC resistance when you're looking at pickups as the be-all, end-all of what the output level is going to be. And because there's some pickups out there with almost none, and there are some of the loudest pickups out there. So DC resistance is not output volume. Okay, that's all on this one. Okay, so this is the one where I get the most upset. Thankfully, this isn't a case of a noob asking something and everybody jumping on top of them and telling them to buy some $5 million nonsense crap. But this is a perfect example of religion. Sorry. This is 7string.org, and the title of this thread is Best Pickup for a Black Limba, which is Carina wood. And the opening post is, hello everyone, I want to change the pickups on my 8-string Kiesel from Black Limba Carina. I want to achieve a clean, balanced sound without resonances in the lower middle. Ideally, you want to sound like Phil Zarta, I'm not sure who that is, or Alder with bare and Ash plus Lundgren M7-8, or Alder with bare knuckle pickup juggernauts, or Ragnarok. In general, progressive, dense, and readable. I listened to different combinations of Limba and Lundgren M7, BKP, Ragnarok, Juggernaut, still a lot of mids, and it doesn't sound so clean. Maybe someone had an experiment with this tree and someone found a solution. So this is right here, the idea that a species of wood has an effect of sound on this thing. And sure enough, there's about 1 billion. Here we go. Learn music production. That's how you'll sound like whatever you want to sound like. The mix itself is the most important part. Wood, which doesn't affect anything, and pickups are inconsequential compared to that. And And so, of course, blah, 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 blah. Friend, I have 7 guitars and I have a lot of experience in mixing music. I also have 2 8-string guitars, one of which is Ibanez M80M, which is made of ash and has a Lundgren M8 pickup on it. And with this guitar, I can get the Viljarta sound without any problems. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. But my Black Limba Kiesel sounds completely different, and the low-mid resonance is not removed in the mix. I'm looking for pickups that will take that away, but it is also desirable that they sound dense and readable, since it is impossible to completely remove the lower middle. That's not true. P.S. And of course the wood affects the sound, and I don't want to argue about it. The topic is of a completely different nature. No, it's not. If you think the wood affects the sound, you're screwed from the beginning. So it says, what does progressive, dense, and readable even mean? Again, if you're going to use terms that don't have units, like I always ask, what units is warmth in? You know, it's not that helpful. There's a reason your Kiesel sounds different, and I'm betting it's the pickups, I'm betting it's the electronics, and where the pickups are placed. So I like this. Since there's no real consistency between one plank of wood and another, I still recommend trying out an M7 in your guitar. Do you know what string type and gauge was used? Remember we did a couple of videos on string gauge, and man, it did kind of backwards from what you would have expected. And this is just a guy trying to... Okay, I have enough studio experience to hear nuances like thick strings or high caps, etc. Plus, I mentioned earlier that I'm on my M80M recording, I can get the sound I want. The problem is in the tree and in the combinations of the pickup and wood. No, it's not. This is approximately the case when pickups with increased low frequencies are placed on a low sound tree, and we get enhanced resonances from these areas. A low sound tree. Now we're going. And somebody... This is the proper response, in my opinion. Sounds like you have more experience than the people you're asking for advice. Yeah. And somebody else says, oh boy, I'm going to see myself out of this thread. You ain't solving literally any tone problem you're having by focusing on the wood. Yeah. 7-hole guitars. So, you know, it hasn't been that long since we had the show where the guy did the air guitar, right? He just had he compared like a really expensive Strat type of guitar with just 2 tables with a bridge on one side, on one table, and a nut and tuner system on the other, and you just had air in between. It sounded exactly the same. So yeah, this went on for 17 pages, and this is why this show exists, is because of this kind of thing. If you're bringing claims, you better bring evidence. Okay, so this last little bit here, and this is kind of sad, actually. So there's a question here. Do hybrid or custom gauge strings change string tension? You guys, we talk about string tension a lot, at least in my older videos. I'm not sure if we really do on this show much. The short answer is if you change the size of your strings, yes, you're changing string tension. Sorry for the stupid question. For example, if I have a guitar with 10 to 46 and I want to put 9 to 46 for easy bends, will the first 3 strings change the tension of the lower strings like the 46 gauge? I mean, is there less tension now on the neck due to the first 3 strings? So they're 2 different questions. No, you're not really changing the tension on the lower strings, but you are changing the tension on the neck. And Neon Night. If you got a name like that, you better have a good answer. He says, no stupid questions here. The thicker a string is, the higher the tension needs to be to reach the specified pitch. Therefore, with all the strings tuned to the correct pitch, the 3 highest strings will be at a lower tension in the 9 to 46 set than in the 10 to 46 set. If you were to replace the 3 high strings, or even one of them, from your 10 to 46 equipped guitar with the lighter gauge, you will find the other strings go slightly out of tune because of minor changes in the neck relief, plus change in angle of bridge if you have a floating bridge. as a result in the slightly reduced tension across the neck. Depending how fussy you are with your setup, you may be content with simply swapping the strings and retuning the guitar, or you may want to adjust the truss rod to achieve the same neck relief as you have with the 10 to 46 strings. If you have a floating bridge, you will need to adjust the tension on the springs to get the bridge level. Okay. So the real bummer here, and the reason for the name of this still under construction, is that to me the best resource we had for learning about string tension, figuring this stuff out, was D'Addario's String Tension Pro. And I think it's been 3 years now that it said, String Tension Pro is currently unavailable while we work on improvements. If you're looking for string tension values, you can find gauges and the tension at pitch of each string on our product pages under the Learn More tab. If you would like to be notified when String Tension Pro is available again, please fill out the form below. So it's gone, which is a bummer, man. I'm telling you. So, but let's see. We're going to go to product pages under the Learn More tab. So let's go there. Electric guitar strings. And I just want to go to, what about single strings? Electric guitar. Nickel plated steel. And, I just lost all my filters. D'Addario XT. I don't know what these XT is. Silver plated copper. Nickel plated steel. Is this new? Like they don't make the, oh, there's XLs. Half rounds. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm looking at. You guys that are making these catalog pages nowadays, it's so hard to navigate these websites. Just gonna go through electric guitar again. They go to XL nickel strings. Learn more. I'll go to the 9 to 42. Let's see if it gives me the. So if I click learn more, here's the tension. So you'd have to go through a lot of junk to find this. I don't know if they have like a single string part where you can actually read this, but I guess you could go down and write down what each of these things are. This sucks. Sorry. Here's a string tension gauge calculator. This is from Evertune. You can choose the note. Hopefully you can choose the octave, or it probably smartly does this. Tell the scale length. Oh man, this is such a bummer compared to the D'Addario one. It was awesome. So you tell the string size. And what I like about this Evertune one, it has a lot of string sizes. Even some in-between sizes, 10.5, 9.5. And that's pretty much everything. That I don't see where it's wound. Oh, right here. You choose wound or unwound. And if we give it a note, I'm going to choose D for 20. Calculate it. And tension is 10.87 pounds. Octave is 3. Frequency is 147. So this is actually a little bit more detailed than the D'Addario String Tension Pro gave you, but you could do all the strings at once, you know, on the other one, which is nice. So, but this is handy. Tension is 10.87 pounds. So you could go through and figure out your balanced set or whatever. So the one string tension calculator lets you pick all 6 strings, or you could do a 7 string here, I guess. Yeah, this is 7 string. Tell the scale length and tell the string size. The problem is these guys don't have all that many string sizes. This is stringtensioncalculator.com. Let's try and make my ideal 7 string set here. If I want even tension, I want to be somewhere around 11 pounds for everything. Let's see, if I go to 10, that's a little bit too low. So I'm looking at 8, 11. Let's go to the G. It's going to be size 14. Good. Now I'm looking at the D string, and I want to get down to around that 11, whatever. Interesting, 19. So this is stringtensioncalculator.com. For some reason, I wasn't happy about something. Like they were missing some of the string sizes, but so far so good. Let's see. So now go to do the A string. Wow, you can really get micro on this thing. There's some weird sizes here. So 1925. So, a lot of people talk about progressive tension where it gets a little bit steeper the thicker the string goes. But we guys in drop tuning tend to have like really floppy drop strings. So let's see about that. But let me get there. So there's no, okay, yes, here we go. It's a problem. There's no 34. There's a 35. That's close enough for me. Now, if I wanted the same tension as everything else, it'd be like a 53, 54, 56 size string. There's no 50 on this website. 50 is what I think I'm using nowadays. 52 would probably be ideal, but I'm not sure because it doesn't have a 52. But this is a pretty good one. I just wish there was a couple more string sizes available. And he says this tension calculator uses the specifications from Callium Strings. So I'm not sure who these guys are. I'm not, I guess we could, let's see how much these things cost. What's a parallel set? I don't know what a parallel set is. Where's the prices? Oh, only, wait a second. Only $30 a set? Yeah, I don't think so. Now here's something interesting. Stringjoy's string guitar tension calculator. So we're going to do the same thing here. Yeah, you see, it's interesting. So these guys have some of the in-between sizes. Let's see. So you get an 18 wound. So they're giving us a little bit different values from the other guys, but it's going to be pretty close. 26 wound, 38 wound. Let's see. Yes, there's no 37, but 36 is correct. Now this is weird. So 54 wound. So if I go my 50, so I may just put up with this floppity flop. I probably shouldn't, but let's see, it's 52. A little closer. It's really 54 would be kind of ideal. It's a big jump, 36 to 54, but it's not too bad compared to 50 to 54. So this might be a fun one to get. The really cool part about this is, and it doesn't seem to quite work, but it says, want to get this custom set, get it here. And they give you the total tension. It's almost 80 pounds here. So if I click get it here, you would think, it's so $13.90. It's not really that cheap of a set, but I mean, it's not bad. I wish there was Elixir 8s. Let's see. So the trouble here is, I think he didn't actually. Yeah. See, you when you get to this shopping cart, make sure you recheck all this because it's completely reset it back to whatever the normal thing is, unfortunately. But you can go here and between these two, you can copy these settings into here. It should auto-populate, but that's a whole different thing. So if you buy 3 packs at once, you get free shipping. Who knows how much shipping is? And if you buy 6 at once, you get 10% off. So that's pretty cool. I wish String Tension Pro would come back. Diodario, please bring that back. And that's really all I got for you today. So I'm probably going to ride with Bobby later on, which would be awesome. And I'll see you guys later.